induction is basically the same as deduction, but the premises are not 100% tested. But they are based on experience. So the example that they use here is that because we have seen that from the past, aspirin has very often cured headaches. So I have a headache. Therefore, if I take this aspirin, it will most likely cure my headache. But it's not guaranteed, because it could be that the headache is not cannot be cured by the aspirin. The fact that aspirins can cure headaches doesn't necessarily cure my headache today. But based on my experience, I can deduct that if I have a headache, I take an aspirin, and I probably will be relieved of my headache.
Is it induction?
Induction.
How about abduction?
Abduction is more of a way of, I think he quoted Sherlock Holmes. So basically, what you do here, there was this example here about two guys eating, no, that was a better example was the
Sushi?
the sushi. Yeah, so basically, okay, what you could do, you can deduce the sushi examples. Okay, so there are two guys in the same dorm room. They had sushi. The next morning they wake up and they both are sick. So you could deduct that they had bad sushi. They ate bad sushi. But abduction says, well, actually, we don't know enough to deduct that, because it could actually be that there is a virus going on in the dorm room. So there is a virus, and it's not the deduction that they go from eating the same thing. Therefore, it must be the sushi. We also need to learn more about the fact whether or not there was a virus going on in the dorm room. So this is the kind of argumentation and reasoning that detectives, etc., and doctors use in order to test their hypothesis, in order to find the truth. So this is what you see in Colombo and that kind of reasoning. So it's a constantly challenging the hypotheses until you reach a justifiable conclusion that would be persuasive enough for the judge to rule in your favor and make a decision for it.
Okay.
So it's kind of
Sushi is what?
so the deduction would be
Okay.
two guys eat sushi,
Induction is
guys
you
get
said
sick.
aspirin.
The sushi must have been bad. So that's deduction. But abduction says, okay, well, we need to further test our hypotheses.
How about this?
Yeah, further test our hypotheses, because even though deduction says that is the most plausible experience, we do not know enough to actually deduct this information, because it could very well be that both guys were infected by a virus, and it was not because of the sushi, but it was because of the virus.
Another reason.
Right. So basically, if I would deduct these guys must have eaten bad sushi, then you would argue with me and say, well, no, wait a minute, we cannot conclude that it was the sushi. It could have very well been something else. It could have been because there was a virus. It could have been that actually we don't know where these guys were having the sushi, where the storm was. Maybe it was a terrible winter and it was extremely cold and their stomach was infected.
Induction is inner analysis, abduction outer analysis.
So abduction is furthermore capturing, basically taking out possible scenarios that
outer analysis.
Yeah.
Probable thought.
Yeah. Yeah, so to rule out other options and to further refine your hypothesis until it's falsified, and you need to change your hypothesis. The hypothesis is these guys ate bad sushi, right? So to go back to the beard example of Socrates. So his rival said, well, so the hypothesis was Socrates has a beard because the premise was that number one, in ancient Greece, most people had beards. Then the second premise was Socrates was a man, which is actually who lived in Athens, which we can almost say to be a truth. Then therefore the conclusion was, the hypothesis was, Socrates had a beard. Then the abductive argument was from then I would say, well, no, that's not true, because according to this philosopher, Socrates actually put hair on his face in order to feign that he had a beard, but actually he didn't have a beard. Then your argument would be, well, actually your counter argument could be true, but we know for a fact that this guy had a stake in the game, and he was trying to taint the reputation of Socrates. Therefore, it is very unlikely that this is to be true. We should fall back to our original premises, hypothesis, that Socrates had a beard. So very Mendoxai. Very Mendoxai as a way. But this is how negotiations and truth finding, etc., work.
Negotiation, truth finding.
Right.
How about Socrates' method?
The Socratic method. So this is actually part of the Socratic method.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is part of the Socratic method.
This one.
So.
And Edison, about induction,
Right.
induction method, we should have very, very carefully to use induction method because, for example, black swan theory. Black swan. Usually, European people think swans are white.
Yes.
Pumpkin white.
Right.
But in Australia, there was one black swan.
Right. Well, actually, we also have black swans so because of everything we saw so far. So you could actually argue that apples always fall down, therefore gravity exists.
Yes.
But if so far, up until today, apples always fall down, doesn't mean that an apple couldn't fall up tomorrow.
Do this.
So far, it's true, but the fact that we only observe the fact that apples fall down doesn't prove exclusively that apples will always fall down. It's just happens to be true so far. So it's through this induction we can conclude through the inductive argument, but it's actually cannot be deductively defined.
Yes.
Another thing about the Socratic method is that it's not aimed to create winners and losers in a debate. Very often, other arguments, ego, will come into play, and will people will let people identify with their argument, right? So, looking back at the series that we did about negotiation. One of the examples that comes to mind is France. France is very intellectual when it comes into debate, but they also have a very big pride. So you are very likely to encounter negotiators who take pride in their negotiation skills, and they very strongly focus and hold on to their own premises. And they don't want to be they don't want to lose the debate, but that's not the actual objective of the debate. Debate is aimed at truth finding.
Yes.
So win-win negotiators are very often true debaters, because they are not there to necessarily win. They are actually there to find the truth. So if you are in a win-win negotiation, you're actually into the true nature of debate, because you want to find the truth. You want to discover together what is the best solution for both sides.
はい、皆さんこんにちは、雲野です。今日はですね、雲野塾の研修のプログラムをご紹介したいと思います。で、こういうふうなホームページありますけれども、ぜひですね、一度中身をご覧になっていただきたいと思います。今日はブーキューブさんのスタジオに来て、この収録をしておりますので、中身はこういうふうになってて、今最近ホットなね、グローバルリーダーの定義など書いてあります。で、特に経団連が作成しました、留学すれば英語ができて専門性を持つというだけではですね、グローバルリーダーになれないとここに書いてありますようにですね、仕事ができる、専門性を持つ、英語ができるだけじゃなくてですね、私どもの塾ではリベラルアースということ、それからもう一つは孫子の兵を、さらにはですね、日本の歴史というものを合わせて教えることによって、皆さんが海外の欧米の方々と、もしくは華僑圏の方々と正々堂々と渡り合えるような人物を育成しようというふうなことを考えています。ここに次のスライドが出ておりますけれども、ここに書いてありますのはですね、さらに、私どもの雲野塾の中身につきましてはですね、欧米の資料しか使っておりません。また実際に雲野塾は英語でやっておりますので、英語の講師がこう話しておりますけど、学習はですね、日本の歴史をまだ教えてますので、学習の午後はですね、日本のプログラムをしております。で、以前はこれ有料だったんで、今はですね、実際に会場費も取っていただいておりませんで、毎回5000円ということで、朝9時から午後5時までやっておりますので、ぜひ皆さんですね、ご検討の上ご参加いただければと。英語のできない方もですね、学習の午後、こういうふうな研修をしておりますので、ぜひご参加いただければというふうに思っておりますので、よろしくお願いします。で、ここにさらにですね、グループ討議とか実務の勘どころを教えるって書いてありますけど、実際には私が10年ほどですね、欧米の新聞とか雑誌等をですね、集めてきた、もともと英語のベースでございますので、そうしたものをですね、50セッションのテーマに分けて資料を作成しております。そういうことで、世界のオペレーション、もしくはカントリーリスクも含めてですね、しかも世界のトップの方々に対しても、いろいろな分析とか洞察をしてですね、議論をしております。そういったことも含めてですね、今後ともよろしくお願いしたいと思います。以上で私の挨拶を終えますが、今回のこのビデオの収録にあたってはですね、V キューブさんのスタジオをお借りしてですね、お時間を頂戴して、このビデオを作成させていただきました。よろしくお願いします。どうもありがとうございました。